CRM is a critical component of your business and is that, for me, it's my security blanket when it comes to sale. It's the number one thing that I turn to when I'm like, okay, I need to make a sale. Welcome to the Action Taker podcast, where we keep you and your business in action so that you can focus on serving more people and doing what you do best. Hello, I'm Lauren Cosgrave. I'm a business coach, a Navy veteran. Around here, we like to say that normal is boring, success is inevitable, and taking action is always the next right step. Hello, Action Takers. It's Lauren here. Welcome to the Action Taker podcast. And today I want to talk about what changed everything for me in sales was when I started using a CRM and why it's so important that you have one in your business. So for those of you that may be new to high-ticket coaching sales or consultants selling something like in excess of $2,000, like you're selling a package that's fairly expensive, something that you're not going to have prices listed on your website for, a CRM is a critical component of your business and is that, for me, it's my security blanket when it comes to sale. It's the number one thing that I turn to when I'm like, okay, I need to make a sale, need to increase some revenue generation in my business. It's so important that you have a CRM for a couple of different reasons. A CRM is, well, let's back it up to sales. What are the two keys for success when it comes to sales? Now, you may see all these ads out there for the silver bullet or this one sales framework or script that could change everything for you. Now, a sales framework and a sales script, or I prefer to lean on frameworks rather than a rote script, is really vital. It is important. But if you're not getting someone to that sales call, a really great sales script isn't going to serve, right? You got to have more sales calls to be able to close more sales. So what are the two keys to success when it comes to sales? Is one, sales is a numbers game. It's always how many people have you spoken with and conversations have you started? And if you're continuing to get no's, that means you're one step closer to a yes and you got to talk to some more people. The second key element of successful sales is that follow-up is critical. Those salespeople that stick it out, that play the long game, that continue to follow up with their prospects are the ones that see results. Those people that make one weak attempt to reach out to someone and don't get much return, or maybe have one quick chat but never follow up to see if they want to continue to a longer sales conversation, those are missed opportunities. Now, not everyone's going to transition into a full-on sales call, but those people that do follow up are the ones that will see consistent success and growth in their business. And a CRM is the tool that enables you to, one, have the volume of people in your world that you need to have your close rate be in about the 30% range, which you should all be targeting. That's industry standard, is if you can have a 30% close rate, great. You should be seeing even higher than that usually in high ticket sales if you have a good pre-qualification process. And then the CRM is what allows you to follow up with that volume of people so that you're not forgetting it. You can't keep it all in your head. If you have 100 people in your world, you won't remember who emailed you last, or who asked for a lead magnet that you have, or who said, hey, check back in with me in a couple of months. A CRM is that secret weapon that helps you remember all of those little things. So that's the what and the why behind a CRM. Now, how do you actually use it? A CRM, let's define that first, where we're going to start with that. CRM stands for a customer relationship management tool. Okay, that's what the acronym stands for, and you will hear that being thrown out there for any software or subscription or service that enables you to keep track of customers or prospects in your sales pipeline or in your current client base. So that's what I mean when I say CRM. The most simplest forms of CRMs are Excel spreadsheets. If you have nothing else but that, you are doing something right. You're moving in the right direction if you at least have a spreadsheet that you're keeping track of people at where they're at in your sales pipeline process. Now let's talk about tools if you're ready to graduate from that Excel spreadsheet, which I think most coaches, pretty quickly you're going to outgrow your spreadsheet management system. If you're tech savvy, if you really like using tools, if you want to integrate in some email tracking where you're having a continuous catalog of the email conversations that you have with your prospects or clients, that's where a CRM really has its power and can skyrocket your ability to ask real questions and remember those little things where someone may ask, oh, how's your son or daughter? Or I hope that your mother-in-law is feeling better. Those type of questions, those are the things that you can catalog in a CRM and you can collect through email automation. Okay, so there is a laundry list of tools out there. All you have to do is go to Google and search CRM and you're going to see a long, long list of them. Probably the most popular one in the entrepreneurial circles is Hubspot. That's one to check out. I don't have a ton of experience with it, so I'm not going to talk too much about HubSpot, but I do want to talk about Monday.com and ClickUp. Monday.com is what I use. It is my preferred tool for my CRM. Now, Monday.com is technically a program and project management tool, and this is one of the few times that I stray from my philosophy around technology, which I'll cover that in another session at some point, like my technology philosophy of how to choose the right software tools. But I was a professional program manager in my career in tech when I worked at Facebook, when I worked at Dropbox. So those tools are something that I enjoy. And Monday.com is one that I know is going to grow with me in my business and had the customization that I wanted. I wanted to be able to customize every single field of my CRM, and Monday.com allows me to do that. I have a board in Monday that is for my relationship management, is what I call it. And I have 5 different buckets that I put my prospects and leads into. And I'll love to go through those here for you right now. Number 1 is my active leads. That's the trigger. I have a couple of triggers in my world of when I will put someone in the active lead column. One, if I've had an in-person conversation with them and they have expressed interest in coaching, they're going to go in my active leads column. If I have had a sales call or a 15-minute chat and I have a follow-up scheduled with them, absolutely they're in the active leads column. If they reach out directly to me on social media via direct message or text message or whatever way that they have raised their hand and said, hey, Lauren, I'm interested. I'd love to learn more about your services. Absolutely, number 1, an active lead. Now, if someone's just in casual conversation with me, if they've just said, hey, on Instagram or put a comment on something, that is not a trigger for me to manage them in my CRM. Or if they download a lead magnet, still not a trigger for my CRM. These are people that have expressed real interest that I am going to personally manage that relationship moving forward and move it off of the automated systems that I have built into my social media and online presence. Okay, the second category that I have is long-term follow-up. These are people that I may have had sales calls with and said, I love this, this is great, but now it's just not the right time for me. That is where I'm going to catalog and keep track of those people, and my follow-up dates are going to be a little bit longer. So in the active lead bucket, I'm typically checking in with all of those people at least once a week. On the long-term follow-up, it's once a month or once a quarter, depending on what makes most sense for that prospect. The next bucket that I have is the friend and referral bucket. These are people that are fellow coaches or that are people that I've met at networking events that may be great referral partners in the future, people that I just want to stay in touch with as a part of my professional network. Those aren't people that I'm necessarily going to transition into sales calls, but I am going to continue that relationship building aspect of just sending an email saying, hey, how are things going for you? What's up? Maybe they're potential podcast guests in the future. You never know what opportunities may arise and people that you want to stay in touch with. The next bucket that I have in my CRM is the declined bucket. These are people that said, no, this just isn't a fit for me, or just not right now, or I'm not really sure, don't have the resources. These people, I may stay in touch with them on a certain regularity basis if they have expressed or shown any type of potential in the future. I may check in with them occasionally, periodically. But I leave them there. I never delete anyone out of my CRM because if I have a new product that I'm introducing in the future that may be of help for them, maybe it's a better fit than what I had to offer at that time, Anytime I have a new product out, I'm going to go into my decline bucket and I'm going to say, who might be interested in something new now? And it's an opportunity to reach back out and say, hey, how are things going? You mentioned to me last time that this was a challenge and I now have a product that might help you with that. Are you interested? And it can rekindle some conversations that may have gone dormant. And the last bucket of my CRM is my closed clients. Those are the folks that have said yes, that have said, I want to work with you, Lauren. I want to be a part of your Action Taker Elite group coaching program, or let's do private coaching or certified high performance coaching. And they're great people. I keep that closed column for tracking my sales conversion numbers, to be able to keep my percentage as a statistic that I can go and reference. And often those people, they may end their coaching agreement and go back into the long-term follow-up bucket. Coaching is just something that we've worked through, and maybe renewal wasn't right for them right then, but might be in the future. And those people can be tremendous advocates. Absolutely want to always stay in touch with people that have been a part of my world, and we're great people to work with. So let me summarize all of those buckets again that are important things to think about when you are selecting a CRM. Is your active leads, your long-term follow-up leads, your friends and referrals, those people that have declined and those that have closed. So I want to encourage you to find a system where you can keep those buckets of people in your life, where you can keep a tool, something that you can reference. You should be referencing this at least twice a week, if not daily, staying on top of those leads, keeping in touch with them. Here are some other pro tips to think about when you're selecting a CRM tool. Does it have integrations with your email to be able to catalog every email that you receive? That's one of the great automations that I love with Monday, is if I have your email address, anytime you send an email, it'll be associated with your line item in Monday, and I have the whole conversation thread right there in Monday. The ability to be able to take notes and the ability to be able to track and move people along the pipeline, as well as notification systems around when you said or committed to yourself that you were going to follow up with people. The last thing that I want to mention is ClickUp was the other tool that a lot of my clients have found some success with. It's a cheaper option than Monday.com. I am not an affiliate for either Monday or ClickUp. I have no stake in the game with either one of these products. My only wish for you, Action Taker, is that you find a CRM that works for you, a tool and system, something that you can lean on that's strategic, something that is concrete, that gives you the ability to follow up every day. If you follow this model, if you have a CRM, if you find a tool and you make it a part of your regular business activities and operations on a weekly basis, you will be able to transition and have consistent sales calls on your calendar, close more consistently, have more clients, know where to go when you need to turn the faucet back on a little bit. Action Takers, I want to offer you something here. Thanks for sticking around and listening to this episode. If you would like the templates for my Monday.com client management as well as my relationship management, I have some demo boards that I'd be more than happy to share with you. To be able to get a copy of those, though, I need your email address. And the best way to do that is to go join the Action Taker community. Head over to facebook.com/groups/Action Taker community. I believe it's the Action Taker community. And you can search the Action Taker community on Facebook as well. Join the Facebook group, send me a DM. Say, hey, Lauren, I listened to episode 4 of your podcast and I would love a copy of your Monday.com templates. I'd be more than happy to share them with you. All right, Action Takers, get out there, continue to stay in action. Success is inevitable. And I'll see you again next week for another episode of the Action Taker podcast.